to DSACO Up for Discussion. I'm your host, Sarah Soell, and I'm the Executive Director for the Down Syndrome Association of Central Oklahoma. This podcast is all about sharing stories, resources, and having conversations that help us advocate, educate, and support individuals with Down syndrome and their families. Before we get into today's episode, we want to share an exciting opportunity to get involved with the Down Syndrome Association here in Oklahoma. It's the DSACO Cup Golf Tournament. It's going to take place on Monday, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, at Rose Creek Golf Club in Edmond. This is a great way to come out and support our mission while enjoying a fun day of golf with community and giving back. There will be raffle prizes, lunch, and an awards ceremony, and all proceeds directly benefit DSACO. So please come out and join us in our golf tournament. Again, that's on May the 4th. You can register a team or become a sponsor today by visiting our website at DSACO/golf. So again, come out and have a good time. We have some advantage tees with the self-advocates too. So you'll get to see some of our self-advocates who are actually really good golfers. So now moving on to today's episode, we're going to do something just a little bit different. If you've ever listened to this podcast, you've heard the final product. But today, we're taking you a little behind the scenes with the person who makes all of this happen. It's our producer, Adie, also known as my daughter, Adie. So, welcome, Adie.
Thank you.
So, Adie, we're so glad to have you here. And I know people love listening to the podcast. And you actually came up with this idea and said, hey, let's do a podcast. And you had done a couple with a class you took at OU. And I think it's been a great resource that many people have reached out about. So I know I've been passing out those cards to get people to listen to different topics.
I would just like to add something in there. I did not come up with this. You approached me with the idea and said, hey, I want to do a podcast. And I was like, oh, well, I took a class on it and have a little bit of experience, so maybe I can dig a little bit into it for you. But this is not my idea.
We call this stretching your skills.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
I've stretched your skills.
One of the many skills I have, and I guess I've learned from you.
I don't know about that, but so Adie, let's just take a deep dive in and kind of tell us what does a podcast producer do?
Well, I do more than just podcasting, obviously. So I am an AmeriCorps member, which you can look at our last episode and learn kind of like what, as an AmeriCorps member, I kind of do for nonprofits and the communities. But I work closely with Rachel, who is my supervisor, and I work on any marketing and social media things that need to be done at the DSACO office. But then the podcast was a thing that we wanted to start this, I guess, year and a half ago now.
Yeah.
And we really just wanted it to be a resource tool for parents and families that needed questions answered, that didn't want to just call the office or didn't want to sit through a long meeting or anything. They just wanted to find it out right then and there.
Right.
So we kind of researched topics, and our first hot topics were the waiver.
Yeah.
And the current, when we first started. So we had tons of episodes on that, and then it was about early intervention and then schools, and we just kind of kept diving deeper into what our community needs from us, and I think it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah. We've had some really fun guests on to talk about the experts, as I like to call them, in those fields, like IEPs and DRS services and job coaching, things like that. But Adie, you've kind of talked us through that process as a producer, but really, what you do here is you're telling great stories. And I feel like the podcast really helps us tell great stories, and it's real, and it's transparent, and it's authentic, and it's not like some, mass-produced thing. Like we're really talking about some deep dive. So, what are some of your favorites that you can recall back to?
I think one of my favorites was the self-advocate panel that we had.
That was fun.
The parent panel was pretty good as well. But also the ones in the very beginning stage of the podcast where we talked about the IEPs and kind of the medical diagnoses that you need to be aware of.
Yes.
I think those are very, very important, especially, I mean, for me having Kirsten. That was kind of a useful thing for me to understand what I need to be on the lookout for whenever, if you and Dad are here, I need to be more aware of her, what she needs. But I think a good way to put this podcast is, and this is, I shout out to Ron Boland, who is actually a professor I've had a couple times at OU, but he is an entrepreneurship professor, and he always describes as what is the pain in the market. And I think that, at least in this scenario, it was what is the pain in our community. And I think that we're fulfilling the pain by just obviously just gaining as much information as we can and getting it out to people that need it, and then trying to boost it out as much as we can so that way they know about all this information. And it doesn't need to be very overwhelming at first. It can be, oh, this is coming up, my kid's 3, I'll listen to the middle school one in a couple years, or I can recircle back to it. So I think it's just stuff that you can come back to later on, even as your child grows up.
By the way, she did not want to be on the podcast. I said, no, let's talk about you and why we did it. Because sometimes people just want to know why. Like, how'd you get started? How do you do it? How's it all put together? That kind of goes into the next topic, is like, what's it like, or a typical recording day, like behind the scenes? I mean, I see you, but you tell the listener out there what all you do, because I just know you set up a camera and then I talk.
So, I mean, I guess a typical like scheduling of a podcast is usually you and me and Kathy will meet and figure out kind of the topics that we're going to cover, and then figure out for what special guests we're going to have, and get in contact with them about scheduling, which has been a pain.
Yes, because we have to meet your schedule and my schedule, and plus sometimes Kathy's, and then
the interviewers that we're doing. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of crazy, but I think that is like the first thing that the first step into the whole process is figuring out all of that. What is the agenda for the next year or whatever. And then really from there, probably about a week or two before the podcast comes, I try and get a script going so that way you're able to know what.
Yeah, she's the one that tells me, you know, what things we're supposed to say about like the DSACO and what's coming up.
Yes.
Because I don't know when these air.
Yes. But a good thing about like the stuff like that is just to like, if say like listener is listening and they don't know that we have an event coming up, or like a big fundraiser, it's just a way like, oh, there's a golf tournament. Yeah, I would want to get registered for that. Or we have the festival coming up in September. So like that'll probably be going out on the next couple series of podcasts about just reminder, like,
well, you need to drop it today.
But like that one will be a reminder, like register your team. Right. You need to, if you want to donate to us. We're trying to meet our goal of, I'm sure you've upped it by like $300,000 this year. Probably. So like it's just little things like that help kind of boost the word out about DSACO in this sense. So, I mean, I put all of that, a lot of thought into the script. So, and then I mean, AI has been very, very helpful. It kind of helps you give a good layout of everything. But I basically just tell it like, this is the topic that we're going to be discussing. These are the types of questions we're going to be talking about. And then I put in like all the event details for any ad stuff that we have coming up, like the events and stuff that our fundraisers that we have. And then anything like that, I just tell it to put it in there, and I section it like, I want this coming out, this coming out, and this coming out in order. I was tickled. Yeah, does it all? Yep, and it does it all, and then it.
So, what is our
and then
most viewed podcast right now?
I'd have to go back and look, but I think actually it was in the very, very beginning with not the waiver, the
health
behavioral stuff with kids in the beginning. I think it was like our 3rd episode.
Okay.
In season 1. I think that one's still our most viewed and listened podcasts. I think it was just very relevant in the time that we had published it. I think it came out on, maybe that one came out later. But I know it was like kind of like in the August time frame, right before schools were getting started back up, and we were doing podcasts over like school stuff. And I think that one became really relevant. Like,
what to get prepared for.
Yeah, what to get prepared for before school starts. But going back to the behind the scenes of it all. Yeah. So usually it comes to scheduling, the topic, and then
putting the scripts
together, and then day of, make sure all the cameras and everything and the microphones are all charged, and I set it all up, and then I tell you to get your booty in here to...
Yeah, and I have had to record some of them, and I'm not real great at it because I cut Robin's head off. And Adie was like, Mom, you cut Robin's head off, or her arm or something.
Well, it's just you're doing it on your own, and I get that.
I know. I don't know what I'm doing with that when it comes to that.
Oh, you're supposed to do the finances and the talking to the sponsors and such. And
but I do know Down syndrome, so yes. I can talk that all day. But which is relevant for this, because I think also you've kind of opened this door to our self-advocates, having a venue to express themselves, like talking about the sibling panel, but also when we had the college students on here. I mean, none of that would have ever taken place if we didn't have a podcast, and for people to be able to really listen in to what they want, what they want to do. And by the way, all of them do not want to move back home. So
yeah, that's very true.
That's going to be interesting.
It's kind of funny for the parents to listen back to it. They're like, my kid said that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just a really good thing for, our self-advocates and our community just to have a voice, especially in Oklahoma, but in the nation as well. Yeah. I know there's tons of other organizations, like the National Down Syndrome Society. They do a podcast and such. So I know there's tons of places that are doing this just to kind of get the word out about things, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I do think podcasts, there's a lot of podcasts.
There's a lot. But this pertains to our people.
Yes.
And I think that's what's relevant here in Oklahoma.
And when I go to edit, and then I go to like update it, or not update it, but like upload it into the feed that we use on the back end, I put keywords in it. So that way people, if they're searching in it, they can find it pretty easily.
What's the keyword for this one?
Podcast producer. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look.
You don't know what that will be?
I'd have to do my research.
So what's something that might surprise people about being a podcast producer? I
think a lot of things that surprise people about my job.
That's true. It changes every day, doesn't it?
It does.
I need to tell the listener out there. So it's not like you just, jumped in this position because you're my kid. I mean, although I think you're pretty incredible. You actually have a degree in marketing.
Yes.
And you're really good at it.
Yes.
So it wasn't me that picked you. It just
happened to be the right time.
It was, but I didn't have any say in your hiring. It was everybody else that, yes, we should hire Adie. You were the best candidate. Yep. But like she mentioned, she's an AmeriCorps member. But your bachelor's is in marketing. Mm-hmm. And
I have a bachelor's in marketing with a minor in digital marketing.
And then what are you doing right now?
I'm getting my MBA at OU currently. So that's just a master's in business administration. My mom likes to think that I want to be her one day.
No, don't do this. Not that I don't want you to serve people with Down syndrome, but go find yourself. Go do what you need to do.
I will. I will go find myself.
Yeah, we're going to miss her because she's only going to be here for what, another year?
Year.
It's going to go by fast. So we'll be looking for somebody to cover the podcast soon. So listener out there, if you're listening, find us a good replacement.
You could do social media and podcasting editing and stuff very well.
Contact me in Adie so we can get you in for an interview. Mm-hmm. So how do you think all these align to DSACO's mission? I mean, our mission is to raise awareness and provide resources as well as promote acceptance and inclusion for people with Down syndrome. You should say that at the beginning of every podcast, by the way.
restate the mission of DSACO.
Yeah. Restate it. Like, maybe people would have a better understanding. But how does this podcast align with our mission?
I think we just said it.
I know.
It helps raise awareness for people with Down syndrome. It helps promote advocacy and inclusion. And it's a resource for our community. So I think it highlights everything in our mission.
It serves our families.
Yes,
absolutely. I think so too. And it's really, it doesn't, it's a minimal cost to us. It's just, I mean, besides time and the cameras and the resources, it's
the camera got donated.
Well, true. But also,
I think the only cost that we currently have is just paying the podcasting website fees.
Yeah,
that we have, but
our admin fees associated with everything. To produce the show, you're part of your salary for this, and of course mine. But they are kind of fun. I mean, we've had a good time. We've laughed, and we've had a lot of tears.
Yep.
On the podcast for sure. That the parent panel, there was a lot of tears.
Yep.
On that one. So what's your favorite part about doing this?
I think just serving a community that needs it.
Sister, she needs to stay. Don't let her leave us.
I like what I do here. I like helping those that need it, and I like spreading the word of inclusion and the advocacy. I think Kirsten, my sister, your other daughter, had taught me a lot about that, and I had an interview with somebody a couple weeks ago, and they asked me, like, why do you want to get into this work? And I told them, I was like, my sister is my why. She's always been my why. And I think it took me a while to understand that. At least at a younger age, I didn't understand kind of like why I did all this and what it actually was doing for myself. But I think she's taught me a lot, and I mean, ultimately she is my why, and I strive to do everything I can to better the next day.
So I need to take your brain and put it into somebody's, because Adie will come and say, hey Mom, there's this individual I want to highlight, or there's this family I want to highlight. I heard them talking about this story or that. So she's constantly listening and watching. But you just know the kids and the families and the adults. And I think that's a very special connection. And I think that's why this podcast is so relevant, and you doing it is very specific toward you, because you know how to tell their stories. You know what stories need to be told. And you've seen the moms at Kylie's kitchen cry and say, I can't do this anymore. And you're like, yeah, you can. I'll help you. Let me give you something. So
I think a lot of it has to do with, though, is, I mean, not just being the producer of the podcast, but by doing the social media.
Yeah.
I'm having to be at all these events, and I'm having to see all these self-advocates on a weekly basis, and you end up building a connection with them. I think this is what, my third year that I've been, 3.5 years now that I've been here. So I think, I mean, over that time I've built the connection, but I mean, our family was members of DSACO before then, so I'd already knew people in it before coming.
You've been to the Easter egg hunts.
Yeah, and I've been to the festival, and
every festival.
Yeah, so I think I already knew some people in the community, and at least talk. You share the same angers and happinesses and stuff like that. So I think just by having those connections at firsthand before coming here, I think helped me have a better idea of how can I actually help.
Yeah, and you really have. I mean, I've had parents come and say, oh my gosh, Adie gave me this, or Adie told me about this, and can you connect me to this? I hear that, quite frequently. And of course, like you, I'm here because of Kirsten. We both kind of found our passion in Down syndrome, and here we are. Never thought I'd be doing a podcast, though.
And I didn't think you'd ever be doing one either.
And I definitely never thought I would be here at an organization. I was going to stay and retire my other job. But it was a good decision, don't you think?
Yeah, I do. I do think it was a good decision. You've learned a lot from this job, especially for what to do with curses.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of see where I'm at and kind of share my experiences. So, because I don't want anybody else to have to go through the hell I have to go through with her on advocating. I mean, I just had a conversation last week that was challenging, but it's like, why didn't someone tell me this? Why didn't we start this earlier? And I think that's really the root of the podcast for Kathy and I to say, here's how we did it. You might not do it that way, or but here's a little tidbit about how we managed this part of this stage in life or that. And I'm not saying we have all the answers. It's just a shared experience for sure. But yeah, and I've learned a lot from the staff here too, as far as learning their secret ways. And we're all one big happy family.
Well, you definitely grown the organization. I remember you come into work when you first started, and it being a 3-person team.
Yeah,
and 2. Yeah.
And now we're at 12.
Yeah, we're at so many I can't even count.
Yeah, not all full time. I mean, they're part time, but one of my goals was I wanted to hire self-advocates on staff, and we've done that. Oh, you should have them on the podcast. Talk about their job work here.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
She's creating ideas already.
Yeah. This is what I do. I tell her, oh, we should have them on the podcast. She's like, write it down. Invite them. So that's the part I have to do.
Yeah.
But we've got some good segments coming up. I mean, we're in season 2. And how do our analytics look? Are people actually watching? There's actually more than one listener.
Yeah, I think today when I looked, there was 20
consistent.
No, all time. So well, not all time. The last 7 days.
Oh,
we listened to theirs. I think they're in the 20s. No, today.
So that's good. And it keeps going up, right?
Mm-hmm. Some episodes do better than others, and I think it's just kind of is that content relevant for that person or not? Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of it is kind of
content related.
Yeah. So I mean, there's areas that you learn from, and there's areas that you do poorly in, but you ultimately gain something and know that, okay, maybe not doing this, but doing this instead. So, I mean, there's a learning curve to everything. And I mean, it's just how, when I had to learn to do the social media, kind of the posting and when to post things, what time to post things. It's kind of that with the podcast, but podcast stuff is a little more different. I think a lot of more people at OU, more in the journalism college, do a lot more with this type of stuff. So I'm kind of just learning as I go. I never really had a full-on deep dive class into podcasting. I had a lot of marketing classes, so I knew how to market a business, how to do a marketing strategy, stuff like that, and how to ultimately just grow from there. And so I didn't really have a lot of background in podcasting. The only background I had was the one class that our requirement was we had to publish so many episodes
of a podcast.
Yeah, but that class was a social media class, so we had to publish these episodes to promote our podcast.
Oh.
So our ultimate goal was publishing social media posts, but we had to post 40 to 50-minute podcast episodes for 4 times within the year. Or within the semester.
Sometimes we get a little long-winded on here, but kind of tell us why you like to keep them to that short 30 to 40.
Keeping them in the 25 to 45 minute mark. I mean, it's a good time frame because ultimately that's probably the distance people travel to, the average distance people travel to work and back home. So, I mean, at least for our drive.
Yeah.
I mean, our drive is 30 minutes.
More.
30 minutes or more, yeah, and that's just going one way. So we could probably listen to one whole episode just going one way to work and then listen to the other one the whole way back. So I think that I just looked at the average distance people travel for work, and then kind of from there I like to keep them in that time range. Now, if there's a big topic and it needs to go a little longer, it's fine, but keeping them in the short little time frames helps people just actually pay attention and they don't lose track of what we're talking about. So there's a lot of thought and a lot of stuff put into it behind, like, that you have to do a lot of research for. And I just dug into that research and then decided, okay, this is what we're going to do. And then depending on the topic, we'll make it a little longer and such. Or if it needs to be a two-part
thing. We've done a couple of those.
Yeah, then we'll do a two-part thing. And but I think for the two-part things, it's kind of hard because you have this one dropping on you have one episode dropping on the 3rd, and then you have the other one dropping on the 21st. So that's a big gap. So like people might forget. So right now I'm trying to look into, like, should the two-part thing be kind of back to back, or like one post this week, the next one posts the next week, and then we still have the one going on the 21st.
I just ask the listener what they want. Yeah. So kind of tell them about your idea of when the podcasts drop.
I don't think that was my idea. I think that was more like your idea.
No, it was you. You said, hey, I didn't even know they were going to drop on those days. So what days do the episodes drop?
Well, back it up a little bit. So
okay.
Last year, you had told me that you really wanted to do the podcast. And I think it was in February. And I was like, okay. And so then we were actually getting ready to plan for World Down Syndrome Day, the whole month of March. Because it's World Down Syndrome Day is March 21st.
Right.
And so then after like a lot of thought, I approached you and I was like, I think if you want to do the podcast, it needs to drop this day because that's probably the most important day to our community.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got one scheduled. And then I was like, you know what? From there, I'm just going to schedule them at 3:21 p.m. at all times.
On 3/21.
Yeah.
The 3rd and the 21st.
So, yeah. So, I mean, the 3rd and the 21st of every month, there's always an episode launching. And it always launches at 3:21 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
There have been a couple that have been posted after the fact. And that's just like not a scheduling thing, but a system error that I have to go back in and I have to redo it. So,
it doesn't upload or something.
Correctly. Yeah, there's just like a minor thing that I had to go back and do, but I mean, stuff like that happens, and there's other people that have a whole team for this, and I'm just doing it on my own. So I think having a couple here and there, that maybe like 2, I think is what we've had, post after the fact, I think it's a bad thing. So
no, they're listening, right? I don't know. You think anybody's going to listen to this one?
Well, you wanted me on here.
I know, but
so I hope so.
We'll make some people listen to it.
That's kind of rude. That's kind of rude. No. I don't want Dad listening to this.
There are people that will want to listen to you and hear what you do for our community. I mean, we do want to be good stewards of our donor dollars and make sure everything's being transparent, that how things are being spent. And I think this is a great way to say, here's what Adie does, and this is what she's been doing, and this is how she's spreading awareness about, Down syndrome. And I think that's a lovely thing. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really helped our self-advocates reach their limits too. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to have a whole list of who wants to be on the podcast. I've already had several self-advocates ask if they could be on.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
remember to shine.
We might have to schedule them out or something, or maybe we do a month of them or of some sort, but and highlight them. Well, we could do that in October for Down Syndrome Awareness Month. Yeah, 21 advocates for 21 days. Woo, that's a lot of filming.
Yeah. I don't know if
that's a lot of editing.
I don't know if my schedule would allow that.
Yeah, that's a lot of editing, but it would be fun. Yeah, to have them on and talk about their journey or whatever they call it. Do we say journey anymore? I don't know. I get caught up on the words and what we're supposed to say. It's made me. We've had to do some takeouts here. You've corrected me. I've had to do some start overs many times. She'll say,
"Because you sound
Mom,
like a robot.
Can you start over? That the tone of your voice is not good.
You sound like a robot.
Just talk." I'm like, I forget.
A conversation.
I know, but I forget sometimes.
Those are the ones that do the best. The ones that just are a conversation between two people.
I know.
A group.
I will say, I think my favorite was the self-advocate panel.
Maybe.
and the parents. Although the sibling one was really good. You weren't on that. I really wanted you to be in it to give some insight.
I think we had
Talk about Kirsten.
I think we had a lot of people.
We
on
did.
there.
And we try to limit it to no more than 4 people because it can get kind of back and forth
Yeah.
with it and hard. But at least, yeah. But we've got some good ones coming up, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be talking about the festival. We're going to talk about guardianship and SSI. We're going to talk about the Developmental Disabilities Council. And then we might have a special guest that I'm going to keep a secret because I'm still trying to work out the details of that.
Okay.
And see if that person would come on and do that one we might have to do an hour because everybody would love to hear this guest, I think. It'll be a good one.
I don't even know the guest.
You would probably have a good idea, knowing me.
Nope.
And then we're going to talk about upcoming events and all our camps coming up this summer, which, by the way, listener, parents, families out there, make sure you go to our website at DSACO.org and click on upcoming events to register for all of our tutoring, all of our camps coming up this summer. One we haven't scheduled out yet because we're still getting the details together is we're having art camp.
Oh, that's new.
So, yeah, that's new. That'll be a new fun project. And that is a grant that is funded by the Kirshner Foundation. So we're really excited to have that. And Riley and I are meeting with a couple of people to get that going because we might do it at an art museum. Yeah. And then just some specialty segments about weather, perhaps, what our kids need to do. I know our kids are real fearful about weather. So all of these, I kind of come up with, like, what Kirsten, I know, is struggling with or scared of, or, like you said, the pains, what she might be needing, what support she might be needing or did need, earlier in life.
Or I think whatever parents call you to,
Yeah.
hey, I don't know what to do. I have this, and this going on, and that's just kind of going on in your mind, like, oh, how can I help this?
We should have a podcast on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she hear from me all the time.
Yeah.
Adie,
Podcast.
Adie, we should have a podcast about this. She's like, okay, get it scheduled and I'll do it. But no, I think you've done a really good job. I appreciate it. I don't listen. It's kind of weird listening to myself. I have listened, but I don't listen regularly. I'm going to just be real open about that. But I'm filming it. I already know what I said. I already know what happened.
That is very true.
But it's kind of weird to watch and listen to yourself.
Yeah.
So
It is.
I'll probably watch and listen to this one, though.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, because you're in it. I want to see your cute face.
Oh, thank you. Have you seen my cute face like every day, Mom?
Not every day, just 3 days a week, because the rest of the days you're in school or working or doing other jobs.
I will say the only thing I have kind of on the agenda, not on the agenda, but goals I have for the podcast is I definitely want to build it out more.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much more you can do with a podcast than just that I have, and I think just having the time set aside to do some more research would be great, but we have a lot of things coming up, and then I get too busy, and I mean, being school full-time and then working kind of full-time is pretty hard, so I kind of limit my availability very much, and then try to make time for family and friends as well. So
keep in mind, you are an HTS for 3 others, really.
Mm-hmm.
Plus this job, plus going to school.
Mm-hmm.
What else are you doing?
I help another self-advocate.
Yeah.
From 2 days out of the week.
I don't know. You're spreading yourself too thin, but I do appreciate it.
Don't you do the same thing, though?
No.
You should do.
No.
The one who's on, like, so many boards and does this, and this.
Well, those are necessary.
I learned it from her.
Well,
But I think really, like, ultimately I'd like to get to a point where we can buy some more equipment for the podcast. And I mean,
so we need sponsors.
mm-hmm.
We would love to have some sponsors for the podcast and have our sponsors on the podcast to talk about businesses. And I was just thinking in the car ride up here this morning, we give out our awards for their Knock Your Sock Off award. We might need to start highlighting a business it knocks our socks off that since we now have our new job employment contract, we should have them on. But yeah, we're always looking for sponsors to help support us and keep it going, because once you're gone, there will be more added expenses to this.
Maybe just contract me out just to your podcast.
You're going to be off gallivanting across the world, so you won't be able to do that. And then I'm not good on the camera, so don't let me film. Someone else is going to have to do that.
Well, no, I have some really big goals that I want for the podcast, but I think ultimately it's limited funds. So
yeah. So if we did have a sponsor, it would help boost us some more and get us out there more for sure.
Or even just more donations.
Yeah. We always need those.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But, I mean, you see all these other people doing podcasts and they've got all this, like,
advertisement.
Not even advertisement. This, like, all this equipment and everything they've got going on. The lights, the special microphones, headphones, like,
we don't have microphones. We have these little ones.
The couches, the couch setups and everything. And they
soundproof rooms.
Yeah, I think that's all good and everything. But, I mean, that takes... a couple $1,000s for you to get there, and I think that would be a great thing to do eventually later on, because then you wouldn't have to set up a camera. Your camera would already be set up in there.
I mean, I wouldn't have to adjust it and cut Robin's head off.
So, I mean, I do want to get to that point where hopefully I can leave you in a good spot with it, but ultimately it's just limited funds.
So sponsorships and donations. We need equipment. We need a room. I'm actually, our podcast got a recognition in the nonprofit world, and I'm actually going to be on another nonprofit podcast to talk about DSACO. So it's led us to another outreach initiative.
That's good.
So, yeah, I'm not really sure about what I'm going to do there, but
they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You always do.
But they asked me to be on their podcast because they listened to ours. I was like, wow. So you might get a podcasting job later on.
We'll see.
Yeah. But also, this would be a great opportunity for our self-advocates to learn how to do a podcast.
Yeah.
They could totally do it.
They could. Yeah.
I have several in mind that I know could do this.
Yeah. I think the only hard thing was the
editing. Someone else can help with that, but the filming and the content, that's pretty doable. I don't know. We have some kids that are really tech savvy.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they
Kirsten's pretty tech savvy when she wants to be.
Yeah, when it's to her benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all of them.
She knows how to log into Disney Plus on the TV. What? Yeah, she called me the other day. She was like, "Can you give me your password?" I was like, "What do you need it for?" And she was, "I'm trying to log in to Disney Plus." I was like, "So you're wanting to use my account to watch a movie on Disney?" And she was like,
"Yeah,
well, yeah." And so I was like, "Okay, I'll send it to you." So I sent her the password. She said she logged in her TV, following her in.
I don't know.
So she definitely can read. She likes to fool you and Dad all the time with that.
Believe me, I've caught her in some things, especially when we were recently at a hotel, and I was like, "We need to go find the swimming pool." And I said, "How do you know that's this way?" She goes, "Well, it says it on the sign." I was like, "Oh, we can read the word pool." She's so ornery.
She is pretty ornery.
Yeah, but we love her, don't we? Yeah. She's the best part.
She's probably my favorite person.
She is my favorite person, besides you.
Yeah, thank you. She's my favorite person anyways, so.
Yeah, I do. She is kind of cute and lovable, and even though she doesn't like either one of us half the time.
She smells good.
She does smell good.
Good.
She's soft.
Good.
And when she wants to, she's sweet. I think she's taught us a lot.
Yeah. She taught us a lot of patience, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think she's also taught me just how to be a better mom. And how to navigate through hard times, for sure. She's always got a smile on her face, unless she's mad at her brother. But that's not very frequent, because she I think Cohen is her most favorite person in the whole world.
Probably.
Yeah, she really likes him.
So call him baby boy.
my baby boy, my baby brother.
She does not like me though.
I
She goes
every
through
other day.
She goes through phases where she doesn't like me.
It's not that she doesn't like you. She likes you. Yes, she does.
I don't know. This weekend was a little hard. I had to determine.
Well, she wasn't very happy with me. She likes you. She loves you. She doesn't want to tolerate you. She knows you're going to make her do stuff. She doesn't like that.
Well, Cohen should do that. Do the exact same thing to her. You gotta push her.
I know. I always said you pull her. Cohen pushes her. You're the one always pulling her along. Like, come on. And Cohen just pushes her. Like, if I have to do it, you're gonna do it too.
Yeah.
So it's just a different.
He's also
He's the little brother. He's the baby. Then Kirsten, and then you.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys kind of fit in your order perfectly.
I grew up kind of being like a third parent to her.
You've always been that way. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. From the time you were 3, you were mothering me.
That's a lie.
Yes, you were. And then
daughter.
Here came Kirsten. Yeah, we've always kind of looked out for her and had this sixth sense about her capabilities and advocating at a young age for her. I always saw that when you guys were little.
I think that's just a sibling. That's just
I don't know. Cohen's not like that.
Well, Cohen's Cohen.
Yeah, but it's like I said, he pushes her, you pull her. Mm-hmm. Plus, I just don't think. Well, she likes males above women, so that's why you and I are in the doghouse all the time.
Yeah,
but
she adores Dad, no matter what he does.
Yes, she does.
Good.
But she loves her Uncle Jared.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Uncle Jared's her favorite.
Yeah. She talks about him all the time. It's funny how she sees all of us so differently.
Mm-hmm.
And in her own unique way, we each hold this special little spot in her eye.
Mm-hmm.
But yet she is the constant spot in all of ours.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what...
I think in her eyes, I'm just the annoying little brat. That's what she likes.
Older sister?
No, like, annoying little brat. She likes to call me her annoying little brat.
Ugh. Her language sometimes and her choice of words. Just when I think. But yeah, I think...
She's almost 20, though.
She is...
She's an adult.
She is an adult. I know. But
some of the word choices she makes, you have to remember that she is an adult.
Oh, no. She's probably going to want to drink alcohol next year when she turns 21.
Probably. She likes to tell everybody else they're drunk, even though they're not.
I know. She kind of laughs about that and asks if they're drunk. But she is fun.
Mm-hmm.
She is the glue that holds us all together. That is for sure. And I can't imagine my life without her.
Yep.
And I feel like sometimes I robbed you of a childhood because we were always taking care of Kirsten or running to this or running to that. And I don't know, I feel like I tried to keep up with your activities too.
I think that's also...
But there were 3.
There's more of that in the sibling podcast, but I think just as a sibling, you understand that.
They're like, oh, again.
There's certain things for them that are more important. And your time will come with your parents, but they value things differently than they value fun. So
it came full circle here with you coming to work. So I was really excited.
I know you and Dad are proud of me in your own way. So
I'm extremely proud of you. Look at you. You're producing a podcast about people with Down syndrome. What is there not to love about that? I'm becoming you. Don't say that. You need to be your own person.
Becoming like a mini version of you.
Well, that's not a bad thing, but you need to be you.
I'll be myself, but I'm saying I'm becoming a mini version of you.
Just don't overwork yourself. Don't extend it too far. Take my advice.
I think that's too far. I think I've already done that. So.
I don't know. Yes, we're extremely proud of you. You've done a great job. You've done a great job with the podcast. So hopefully we can get some sponsors and donors out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can throw them a bone and tell them. But if they do want to sponsor or donate, where do they go?
DSACO.org.
Yeah. So, and hit that donate button.
Yeah. But if you have any questions or anything, just email us at info@DSACO.org. And
Yeah.
I mean, even questions about the podcast that you want us, topics that you want us to cover.
Yeah. Or if you would like to be on the podcast, we're always taking requests. We're not full yet. And, you know, just because we have 2 episodes a month, we can always add a 3rd one on a special day. Yeah. Maybe Kirsten's birthday, we can do a little shout out.
We can have her. This is about all of them.
It is. But we need to celebrate all of their birthdays.
Yeah.
Have a shout out. We could do some birthday shout outs for
We serve over like 1,200 families though.
No.
So then we'd have a shout out every day of the week.
No, we're just on the podcast. We can say shout outs for the month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, listener, if you have any ideas or thoughts, shoot them our way. Let us know what you think. Thank you for listening today. And hopefully you'll want to support our podcast. And if you're looking for a meaningful way to connect with the community and consider becoming a sponsor or donating to DSACO.org, and like Adie mentioned, it's on our website. Hit that donate link. And just so you know that your support really helps continue sharing important stories like we've done today and resources, and really just to keep the conversations going and having a bigger impact in the community. That's what we're all about. So reach out to us, visit our link. Adie will post it in the bio, and share it, tell others about our podcast. That's the best way, word of mouth. Say, hey, listen to this. Sarah and Adie were on here talking. But thank you so much, Adie, for being behind the scenes. But I'm really proud of you, and I love you so much. Gotta give you a little huggy kiss. Isn't she great? So,
Don't come in.
be sure to listen to our latest episodes wherever you get your podcasts, or click the link in our bio. And as always, keep educating, keep empowering, and keep enhancing, and keep loving like this one has done. So I love you.
Love you too.
Bye, guys. Bye.